Hey, Don Rush here. Over the last couple of years, our tilt column rebuilding service has really caught on, and we're getting columns coming in and out of here every day. I want to talk about a couple of new parts. I believe that there was a design flaw in all 67 to say 79 Ford tilt columns. And that design flaw is the pins on these teeth. So when you adjust your column, you are releasing this lever and going to the different adjustments. Anyway, the pins over time work out. And once these pins work out, this becomes misaligned. Once this is misaligned, you break aluminum castings. The easy, simple solution is make an oversized one with circlips. It'll never work out. These columns are so valuable these days that, well, hundreds of dollars, sometimes over $1,000. You do not want to risk damaging them. The aluminum used parts are becoming very hard to come by. And by the way, we'll buy your broken, used, unwanted tilt columns. You don't want to risk break it. So even if yours isn't coming apart internally, I say let's do the upgrade. Don, who does our rebuilds here, is going to walk you through the ones that we think you can handle at home. The other ones in later years, kind of hard. You really got to dig deep into the column to service those. So we suggest you send those to us. We have another video showing how you do send your column to us, preparing it, wrapping it, and everything, and our service there. Unfortunately, we cannot take your phone calls and give you advice over the phone on how to rebuild your column. But if you go to ClassicCougarCommunity.com, there are several that will help you free of charge. And the search words there are tilt away at ClassicCougarCommunity.com. So I'm going to turn this over to Don.
I'm DW with West Coast Classic Cougar, and I'm the guy who fixes or breaks your tilt columns. Today we're going to discuss what Don was talking about these pins, the replacements on it that will keep from coming apart. What we're going to do is I will show you how to do a 67, 68, or a 69, and you can do this while this is in the car. It is relatively easy. We've got a 68 column here. Most of it's pretty well tore down, but for our purposes, it will work fine. You've got 3 screws on this can that you're going to want to take off. And you can take that off and slide that out. And then you will see on this that you've got a pin here on this jaw, and you have a pin over here on that jaw. And what we want to do is replace them, but we don't want to take and have this flopping all over the place. So what we're going to do is we're going to take the snap ring or the circlip off the ends of these pins. And then we're going to use it as a dowel, and we're going to start tapping it. Don't go wailing on it, just tap it. Make sure you're on top. If you have a little trouble with it to locate or get it started, use a punch, smaller punch. But if you just tap on this lightly, take your time. If you need to, get a punch. And I think I will. Get a punch and drive it all the way through. That one came out. That's fine. Let's put our clip in, which anybody that has to work on these knows it can be a real pain at times. Side's done. I'm going to tap it back. Get it back on the other side. And then, of course, like everybody else, I lose it, can't find it, costs. And then we finally locate it and put it in on the other side. Cost some more. There. Now this pin is not going to come out. It's real easy to do. You could do it on both sides. Probably easiest is take a punch, start it, don't go all the way through. I can turn around and put that on there. Give it a couple light taps, don't go crazy. This is soft metal and it will break. This has the circlip on it, so I want to move it around out of the way if it wants to today. Okay, take my punch. Couple sharp blows. It popped all the way out. We'll pop this flush. And now we'll take our other circlip and put it in. There. Column's done. Put your canister back on, locate the locating hole here and the locating groove down here. And you would be good to go. Put your 3 screws back in, put your steering, your turn signal back on and your steering wheel, and this column would be, it'd never come back out again. It's there. So you don't have to worry about that failing. Okay, on the 67, 8, and 9, we also have the plastic bumper. We have these reproduced. The plastic bumper fits right here. And this bumper comes up against here, and on your tilt away, when it tilts away, this slams against this piece, and this piece will break over time. The bumper that fits right there
some difficulty.
Yeah. Well, only when you're on video.
Oh!
That sucker's gone. I'll have to work on that, won't I? You got it?
Got it.
This piece fits right in here. It's a little bit difficult to go in, but it will go in. Now when it slams up against the stopper, it won't break this now. It'll cushion it. So, and we have these for sale. We have them manufactured for us, and they're available now. I'll save your column. It'll save you about $1,600. Okay, this is a 70s. This is a 72, but we can. This applies to a 70 through 78 column. You have a locking paw, and the locking paw catches on a pin. Just like the 67, 68, and 69, these pins slide. They move around inside. And when they move to the side too far, one end will fall out. Then the locking paw will only catch in one little spot, and eventually will break it and chip it, such as you can see here. There's a chip on here. Some of them are chipped worse, and the tilt function won't tilt anymore. It'll just go back and forth and flop around. We have the pin to solve that, but it's real difficult to do it at home. The reason being is your lock mechanism, when it needs to come out, your tumbler, it's with a gear system inside. And when you pull this out, after you've unscrewed everything, you've lost the index on the gearing inside. And to put it back together is difficult. But if you could get that off, and you pulled your locator, your pivot pins out, still, you cannot get to that pin, because this pin is inside here. So you eventually have to unscrew 3 Allen screws to pull this piece out along with the shaft. Then you get this here. this is the piece you'll have to replace. And we've got a pin in here that will pop out real quick. We'll show you that right here, this has been wobbled out because the pin has moved around over time. It's not wobbled out on this side. This is still good. 3/4 of this is still good. And this is still good. If we put one of these pins in here with the circlip or the snap ring, whichever you want to call it, you put that in there, we've saved this piece. You won't have to purchase it. You'll be able to keep it. Its functionality will be good. It's still a solid piece. Just a little worn here. You really don't need it. In doing that, if this locking paw only has a small chip on it, such as this one, you could still use this. This is a very expensive piece. You could still use this and it'll still be functional, and it'll save you a lot of money just by putting this piece in. But for you to do it, it's going to be a little bit difficult. Not impossible. But every time we rebuild a column here, we replace these pins with these snap rings or circlips. They're the best thing going for an expensive column. They're worth every penny, and we put it in every one we rebuild. I hope that helps and saves you a column. Have a good day.